Hey, what's up, guys? Cain here with XBLA fans. I'm going to be giving you a quick taste of RBI Baseball 2017. Now, RBI Baseball is the only licensed product by Major League Baseball on the Xbox One. And while that is unfortunate, it is the baseball game we get. And it's not the one we want. I can just tell you that much. So, RBI Baseball is RBI Baseball. While this is the fourth year that this product has been on Xbox One, it genuinely doesn't feel that much different. And that's very unfortunate, because typically I'm that guy who will argue with just about anybody that sports games are different year after year. And I have a very hard time arguing that RBI Baseball 2017 is significantly improved in any areas beyond maybe some minor UI. So, RBI Baseball is out now on Xbox One. It released on March 27th, 2017 for $19.99 in the US. I believe it's still $29.99 in Canada. Now, the game basically is very retro inspired. I think that's the best way to put it. So it's much more of an arcade experience than like a sim experience. So if you're expecting something like MLB The Show, just stop watching. Like, you're not going to be happy. You're just going to get annoyed. So it's just a very different kind of game. The entire game can be played in under 20 minutes, and it has basically 2-button controls almost the whole way through. Now, there are some things you can do to kind of modernize the controls a little bit. In fact, I'm going to be releasing a separate video on how to basically optimize the controls, in my opinion, to a much more fluid product. I don't really think it makes it a great game, but I do think it improves it a substantial bit. So definitely check that out when that's up. That'll be up later today. Now, there is season mode, postseason mode, and exhibition. I believe the biggest deal is you can season save mid-game. I think that's new. There's also some simulation compatibilities, and I believe that's also new. So I think those are two of the bigger new features this year. And then there's obviously the authentic MLB experience. That's kind of their big selling point when you compare this to a game like Super Mega Baseball. In fact, I would say Super Mega Baseball is a far superior game. However, they do have the hurdle of not being able to play as your favorite team. So for me, I love being able to play as the Chicago Cubs, and it's kind of a big deal for me to be able to actually play as, the Cubs. I know their entire roster. I know every single person on that 25-man roster. I want to be able to, play as them. It actually bugs me when I look at their roster and I see stuff that's actually incorrect. And the nice thing about RBI Baseball, and I'm going to give them this, is they are normally very good about updating the rosters throughout the season. I've noticed that very frequently it does get some updates. Like, I know when Kris Bryant wasn't on the Cubs yet because he was not actually eligible for the game because he'd still not played a major league game. They updated him in pretty quickly when that happened. So, like, they've been good about that. So you are getting, decent roster updates, and you're getting, 30 fairly detailed ballparks. You can tell what it is. Like, you can tell Fenway's Fenway. You can tell Wrigley's Wrigley. That's always important to me. And there's obviously over 1,000 MLB players. They claim there's detailed attributes, but I'm not going to give them that one. I think that's kind of bogus. A lot of the character models look very similar. Like, it would be really cool to be able to see someone like Kyle Schwarber actually look a little bit more like Kyle Schwarber. Like, he's going to be built a little bit differently. Whereas, like, Kris Bryant in this game is kind of like a beanpole. But at the same time, so is everybody else in the game. So it's kind of weird how they have the character models. Now, obviously, you can modify your lineup with MLB rosters. Or you could play with just classic RBI-style baseball rosters. So you can play with the full 25-man or just the smaller roster. And they will continue to update this. It does have some pretty decent stat tracking, which is really nice. The achievements are largely based on stats over the course of a season. There are some that are fairly easy, but some of these are going to be pretty difficult if you're an achievement hunter. And one of the biggest deals with this year's game is that there is currently not a multiplayer mode. Now, RBI Baseball took pretty active on Twitter over the last couple days to basically say, like, there is a mode coming, we promise. However, you kind of got to wonder why it did not come with the game. Seems like a huge oversight to just not include something that's been included in previous iterations, especially when I know a lot of people buy this game because they want to be able to play as, you know, MLB players against each other. And it's an even bigger deal this year, I would say, since Super Mega Baseball is actually adding online play. So since, you know, the other baseball game on Xbox One is going to eventually have online play as well, it seems like it's kind of a miss to suddenly not include this out of the box. Now, I mean, I've been playing this game for a couple hours. I would say it just feels kind of wonky. It's always felt that way a little bit. But, I mean, in the past, I've been one of those guys who's like, you know, it's RBI Baseball, man. You know, you can't expect MLB The Show. But I feel like I'm starting to get that kind of fatigue where it's like, yo, you guys aren't even trying at this point. Like, I get not wanting to update the game beyond its kind of arcade feel, but at the same time, just continuing to put out the same product more or less with just minor tweaks isn't really cutting it. It's really time for somebody else to step up for a baseball game. Unfortunately, I don't personally think that's ever going to happen. Obviously, Sony knocks it out of the park with MLB The Show. I really do like what they're doing with RBI, or not RBI Baseball, but with Super Mega Baseball 2. Everything I've seen on it so far looks good. I can't wait to actually play it myself. But obviously, they're going to have the issue of you don't have the official MLB license. So it kind of sucks that, you know, since this game is published by Major League Baseball and their media arm, I strongly doubt they're just going to give that license to somebody cheap, you know. But it kind of sucks if you're an Xbox fan. It's always kind of been this way, though. And, I mean, like, there's a certain point where, like, saying it's always been this way just gets really depressing. So, if you're a big RBI Baseball fan, maybe this is okay with you, but for the casual fan, the guy who just wants a good baseball game, I would probably say to pass on this year. Normally we don't give recommendations in our quick taste videos, but like I almost feel like bound to do it. Like I really, really don't want someone to be misled by this product. It's just not that good. But anyways, guys, if you have any questions or comments or any feedback, please do leave it in the comments. We'd love to chat with you guys, and obviously we'll have more quick taste videos for all the other content that's coming out on Xbox One this week. Please do stay tuned and check out all of that. And later, guys.